Hi, my name is Pastor Hal York, and welcome to Truth in the Trenches. Today we're going to be in Proverbs chapter 15, verse 31. He whose ear listens to the life-giving reproof will dwell among the wise. Another version puts it this way: the ear that hears the rebukes of life will abide among the wise. As we know, Proverbs has a lot to say about the benefits of listening. In Proverbs 15:32, just the next verse, whoever ignores instruction despises himself, but he who listens to reproof gains intelligence. In chapter 8, verse 34, blessed is the one who listens to me, watching daily at my gates, waiting beside my doors. Chapter 12, verse 15, the way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but a wise man listens to advice. And now our verse, he whose ear listens to the life-giving reproof will dwell among the wise. What does this verse tell us we need to listen to? Or what does the person listen to that leads him to dwell among the wise? Well, Jesus many times used the expression, let him who has ears to hear, let him hear. Well, this is not talking primarily about the ear's ability to process sound waves, but is referring to the heart. The heart has a profound impact on what we hear, who we hear, and how we hear. Hearing is more than just being able to repeat what was said. Hearing means taking what was said to heart. That first phrase of the verse doesn't end like most people would like it to, or even think it should. Just think about it. He whose ear listens to life-giving, then what would you put after that? He whose ear listens to the life-giving fill in the blank. Well, here's what many people would fill in the blank with, some of these things. He whose ear listens to life-giving affirmation, or a life-giving pat on the back, or life-giving tolerance, or life-giving encouragement, or life-giving agreement. That's what our culture would probably equate with life-giving. It's always positive. Positive is good, negative is bad. Negative is robbing me of life. I got to be free to be me. And if you won't let me be free to be me, then you're robbing me of who I really am. That's our culture today. Reproof is negative, at least in the eyes of the foolish and the unwise. Reproof is hurting me, it's hindering me, it's holding me back, it's keeping me down. I need affirmation. I need you to support my choices. That's how those wise in their own eyes think and reason. Now, to be honest, we must admit that no one likes reproof. No one looks forward to it. But you find anyone who's successful in any area of their life, in marriage and career and sports or whatever, and you will find people who understand the necessity to learn from their mistakes, to learn from reproof, to say, yes, that's painful, but I needed that. I needed to hear that. The wise person grows when reproof comes his way. The foolish person just growls. Tribulation produces patience, patience experience, and experience hope and character. Life-giving reproof may come from a person or it may come through our circumstances, but it is life-giving. It makes us lean on and run to the one who is life, Jesus Christ. It causes us to grow. It teaches us self-discipline. It teaches us to trust God, to see God's faithfulness, to not lean on our own understanding. The world is filled with enticements and traps and temptations that promise life, but produce death. And they are very easy to fall into. And that's why it's not good to walk through this world alone. We need those who will love us enough to point out when we are heading down the wrong pathway, to reprove us if necessary. They are not quick to give up on us. There's too much at stake. Now, again, this is frowned upon in our culture, but it's absolutely necessary if we're serious about living a wise, godly life. The one who listens, whose heart is ready to hear and obey, will dwell among the wise. They will be comfortable among the wise. They will purposefully seek to dwell among the wise. They know it would be easier just to hang out with people who will never question their choices, who will always tell them to do what they want, who live and let live, and always say yes to everything you tell them. But they know The wise person knows they need the reproofs of life. They know the deceitfulness of their own heart. That's a mark of wisdom. They have a teachable spirit. They have ears to hear and a heart that longs to hear. And they hang around with people who are not afraid to tell them what they need to hear because they love them and care for them too much to just let them go their own way. I think it's the heart we see in Psalm 1. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scoffers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord. And on his law he meditates day and night. He's like a tree planted by streams of water that yields its fruit in its season, and its leaf does not wither. In all that he does, he prospers. Psalm 1, 1-3. That's life. We may either be the recipient of these reproofs, or we may be the giver at times. But we need to love God and love others enough to respond wisely when needed, and to respond lovingly when needed. He whose ear listens to the life-giving reproof will dwell among the wise. A very important thing to think about, principle to think about, to meditate upon. May this truth guide us and guard us in the trenches of life as we seek to live our lives for the glory of God and the good of others. May God bless.